So welcome to the presenter support session for the 2019 InnEdCO conference that we're going to be having in just a couple weeks up in Keystone. We are so excited that you're going to be joining us. And this is a little presentation to help you so that your sessions can be the best possible sessions that they can be. So my name is Linda Horn. I am the secretary for InnEdCO. And my partner in crime here is Liz Walhoff, and she is of InnEdCO. And we will be your guides through creating wonderful sessions this evening. So I am going to start sharing my screen here, and we will work through some slides and some different sites and apps that can help you. So let me share my screen here. Okay. So there, hold on. Let me go here. Okay. So you should be able to be seeing my screen now. So again, why we're here this evening is to talk about how to design an effective, innovative Education Colorado session for 2019. The bit.ly for this slide deck is down in the corner, and you can join along with that, and you can use this to review whatever you need to. So again, my name is Linda Horn. I'm the secretary. Liz Walhoff is the president. We are your guides this evening. But remember, when we are up at Keystone at the conference, all the board members are there to help you with any questions you may have, whether it be as a presenter or as a participant. We are there to support you in your learning and your sharing of your amazing insights into what innovative education in Colorado looks like. Some of the things we need to think about for a great session would be our general considerations. And the first things you need to do to set yourself up for success is to have a solid objective that goes beyond more than what you just want the participants to know. So what is it that they're going to do? What are they going to walk away with having learned and having the ability to now apply in their practice? Also, making sure that you have a way to measure what your objective was and whether or not it was met. This is for you to be able to make sure that you are giving your people that are attending your session the best possible you that you can be giving them. And another thing is to engage your participants. So know who your participants are, who is in the room, where is it that they are coming from. So it is good to ask at the beginning of a session what grades they teach, where in the state they're from, if they're from out of the state, and what are the subjects that they teach, because they are each going to bring their own background into it, and that is going to shape how your session turns out. Another thing that you need to think about not only is know your participants, but know yourself as well. Know what are your stumbling blocks, or what are the things that you bring to the table that other people may not necessarily understand about you. So, for example, when I do presentations for other organizations such as COTESOL or CCIRA, I do it from my hat as an ELD director. And normally when people hear that, they think most of my families will be Spanish speaking. But actually, my background is more with students that speak Hindi. So knowing that that is where I'm coming from and that they are coming from a different place helps me to understand that better and to kind of bridge those gaps. So another example might be if you teach in an urban situation and you have people in the room that are rural. They may have different problems or stumbling blocks than you do. So just being aware of what yours are and what theirs may be will help everybody get more out of the.
Linda, may I interject on your prior point?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, if we go back a slide, I think also, and you probably know this if you've presented before, but it's okay to say that, I don't know how this would apply. My experience is here. What would those of you who are in the room who are in this situation, can you make any connections and help answer the question for the person? So it's okay to, we all know that we're not the only experts in the room. There are other people who know amazing things too. So I think it's okay to ask participants to help you fill in your own knowledge gaps.
Thank you for adding that, Liz. That is very insightful. Something
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll take it.
Very insightful. Okay. Okay, the next thing you're going to need to know is what was the session type that you'd originally signed up for? Because this is going to be going through the app, and people have expectations when they come into the different session types. So knowing what the expectations are will be helpful. So we're going to review the different session types. So the first one over here is a conversation. These are hour-long sessions that are designed to foster dialogue. So you may be up there sharing information and your amazingness, but keep in mind that people are expecting some support and they are expecting to be able to participate in the conversation. So Problems of Practice is an hour-long design session that really focuses on solving a problem of practice. So how might we create a personalized learning environment? How might we improve the digital citizenship of our students? So these come with a question that the people that are there are sitting down to really think about and to delve into a little bit more deeply in order to come up with their own type of answer that is applicable for them. We also have a panel, which is an hour-long presentation with a moderator facilitating a discussion among panelists or a group with a section. So please be aware that the Q&A is encouraged and expected from the audience. We also have the Ignite session, which is a 5-minute session, contains 20 slides. You have 15 seconds per slide. And this is a way, that you can share your excitement and things that really ignite your passions and you think will ignite other people's passions. This is the perfect way to share that. Posters are a multi-session environment. It's one large room, lots of people participating, sharing their ideas, and the participants walk around and have conversations with the people that are presenting. So this is a great time to have those smaller conversations with individuals and really be able to answer their questions. Workshops are 2 to 3 hours, and it includes time for teaching them, but then also time for the participants to do some hands-on activities and really think about how they're going to apply this learning and how it is going to affect them and what are the amazing things they can do with it. Playgrounds are open, really they're playgrounds where people can come and try new things. We will be having one that has 3D printers and robots. So think about ways that the technology can really impact the people that are there. Snapshots are 30-minute small presentations on a particular solution or tool. And this is, when people come to these, there will be a few in rapid succession. So you'll do a 30-minute, somebody else will do a 30-minute, and it's kind of the smorgasbord of tools and resources.
Linda, before we go on, may I pop back to poster sessions?
Oh, yes, please do.
So now, I know that we don't typically as educators like to toot our own horns very much, but posters are a great way to just share something cool that happened in your classroom. And the neat thing that comes from that is it's not so much about ego, it's about inspiring other people and saying, hey, this was my lived experience. And then giving them an opportunity to say, oh yeah, awesome, I tried that too, and this is what happened for me. Or, oh, I never thought about that. I'd love to try that in my classroom. So think about it as an opportunity to open a door for other people into, or open a window, I guess, into a small aspect of practice that either you have tried or that you are thinking about trying. So to put some draft thoughts out there, or some pieces that you actually lived, and see what people think about it and let them add their own thoughts to it. The reason I'm bringing this up is you may very well have signed up to present an entirely different type of session. Please continue to do that. Don't abandon us on that. But if you or somebody else that you know wants to do a poster, we do have enough, but our space is such that we can add more. So if you would like to take advantage of that, we provide the board, we provide the push pins. All you have to do is provide the content, the ideas. There are places up at Keystone where you can print if you need to. So let us know kind of what you're thinking. I've also seen people who just handwrite on a piece of paper their topic, they pin it up, and then they do the rest of the presentation on their laptop that they just have open. So posters are a great add-on, and since they happen Thursday morning and they require very little prep on our part, you can let us know as late as Wednesday. Hey, this friend of mine is going to present a poster session, or hey, I would like to present a poster session, and we'd love to give you a chance to do that. So just a quick teaser and a promo for posters.
And later on in this presentation, there actually is a link. So if you want to take us up on that offer and do a poster, there's a link that you can just sign up your ideas and who you are. And we are so happy to have you join us in the posters. Also, you can sign up for more Ignites as well. I'll share that link in a little bit. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
So some of the things when you're doing your presenting is to be about the space that you are in. So use the session space. If there's room and you want people to get up, please do so. Some of the rooms will be larger than others. Some will have different furniture in it. But once you're in the space, use it how you see fit. And you don't have to facilitate and present from the front of the room. You can move around if you have a device that allows you to move your mouse from different areas. Please do that. It really does make your participants feel they're more part of it when you're walking around. Technology. So know that everyone is not going to have the same technology. Some people may be on tablets, others were on computers, and just make sure that you're allowing for everybody to access the information in the ways that their technology and their workflow allows. Think about also who is doing the talking in the session. Is it just you? Or how are you going to be working to have your participants work with one another and share their thoughts as well? Okay. Any thoughts, Liz?
No, I think that's fair. I really think that the tech piece is important to know. Everybody's going to be doing something different. So if you're modeling something that requires payment or a special bit of software, if you have extra copies of devices that have that on there, that's good. But I would say the tech piece goes back to get to know your people, get to know who they are, what they teach, where, like what grade level or level of education they teach in, and then also ask them what types of devices they have, because they'll tend to disengage if they're viewing something that's only accessible on a type of device that they don't have.
And that also brings up the point, be forthcoming at the beginning that if you are doing something that is very Apple-centric, so if you are doing one on iMovie and they are not going to be using iMovie, let them know at the beginning so that they do have the opportunity to maybe go to another session and vote with their feet. And that says nothing against you as a presenter. Them to be able to get what they need out of all of these. So this leads us to our app. So we have an amazing app. You can access it online, InnEdCO19.Zarista.com. You can also have it downloaded on Apple and Android devices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little walkthrough on the app and show you a few things. So let me escape out of this and pull up our app. So when you first log in, there's your home page here. The nice thing about this is there's your profile. This stuff about you and your sessions is actually automatically populated based on what you had put in your spreadsheet. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Some of the things I do want you to be able to see. Under speakers, if you're not sure where your sessions are located, you can go to speakers, find your name. I am not Courtney, but we are going to be using Courtney as our example because she is right at the front there. If you click on the name of the session, it tells you here the name of the session, the time, the date, and where it is located. And then if you click on the name of the room, it will bring you here to the wonderful map of Keystone. Now, the great thing about this year is we are actually all in the same building. I know in the past we've had people go to a different area, but this year we are all in the same building. So the one map, you will see where it is your session is, not only the time, but where it is as well. So you know how to find it. It's one of the things I love about this app. Also, once you're there, you can click your schedule. You can put in your things, things that you would like to see, contacts, people that you're meeting. This is a great way to really work on building relationships with other people that have the same interests as you. That's one of the great things about InnEdCO is that it is really based on those relationships. Allows you time to do that. So your contacts here gives you a chance to do that so that you can save it for later. Any additions on the app, Liz?
I would say, I think you're going to talk about the spreadsheet next, but did you want to show them where they could find the materials? Like if they click on the session title?
Oh, sure.
Just thinking, because we're going to show them on the next slide, how do you add those? But it might be nice for them to know where people will find those.
Okay, yes. So when you go into that, the name of the session under your name, here it tells you your notebooking, Crestone 1, your description, and right here under the description is that resource.
And I think you might have said that already, but I just want to draw people's attention to that, and then we can click back to the next slide.
Okay, sounds good.
Because here's the magic.
Yeah.
As we go to presenter and make this large, that URL up in the right-hand corner That's
Give me a
where we
second.
have,
My battery is running low. Let me.
yeah, mine too. Twins. But that session resource link that's off to the side, that the message is somewhat covering up, that's what populates the app. So there's a magical connection between your presentation spreadsheet, your presenter spreadsheet, and that session resource link. Linda's going to give you a couple of tips on that, but remember, folders are an amazing option for you because you can only have one link there.
Yep. So as Liz was saying, this was the link that you had put in originally. I'm really going to suggest that you go back in and look at that link. It must begin with the HTTPS or HTTP in order for it to activate the link within the app. So please make sure that the link does begin with that so that your attendees can access your resources. So I'm going to step back out of this and go to, so this was my planning template. So this was one of the things that you're familiar with because you filled it out at the beginning, but this is where that resource link lives. So this is where you would go and update that if you needed to. Another nice thing here is as you're thinking about it, I had mentioned earlier knowing what your outcomes were and what it is you expect your participants to get out of your session. You can go back and review that right here in the spreadsheet because that is something that you had originally put in. So it's a nice way to go back and review that and to review what type of session you had. And the great thing about the automagical connection between the spreadsheet and the app is changes that you make in the app update within about an hour or so, or changes you make on the spreadsheet update in the app within about an hour or so. So you can, in theory, update things up until just for your session. I would suggest you do it about a day before just to make sure that your participants have access to everything that they're going to need. Any additions, Liz?
No, I think that's brilliant.
Okay. A couple things about this year. Last year was our first year that we did a Maker Challenge. We are continuing the Maker Challenge this year. This year, since the theme of our conference is Educators are Superheroes, the challenge is to create from recyclables a three-dimensional interactive item that ties into the theme. So it is very open on purpose because we really want to be able to see your innovation, your creativity, and where your mind takes this. So please come up with teams and join this challenge, or really suggest to your teammates and your friends that are there that they should join the challenge as well. The winning team of 4 will receive Learning Academy registration for each team member for the 2020 InnEdCO conference. Okay. Again, poster sessions. We really had talked about this earlier. And as Liz said, we do have enough posters, but we have a lot of space. So we are always welcoming more posters. And you can register for one up until Wednesday. And here's that link that I was telling you about, rebrand.ly/posters 2019. This will bring you to a spreadsheet, and on the tabs at the bottom, there's one for posters and there's one for Ignite sessions. So if you have a recent passion that you really want to share, but when you originally signed up for your session, that wasn't a passion yet, but you want to share that now, you still can do that. Any suggestions, Liz? Any additions?
I think that's perfect. I mean, the pictures that we're showing are like super duper well-developed ones, but as I said, you can just write, this is my topic here, and then present digitally too if you want.
Yeah. That's usually what I end up doing. So here's a couple of tech tips. One of the nice things for your participants is if you have a back channel of some sort, you can use Twitter, you can use Slides Q&A, or you can really just do a collaborative document that you share, just a way for them to share their thinking, share their thoughts, or ask questions that either for you or that other participants can answer. So back channels are really important and nice to have. So make sure you have the correct dongles. So we have the projectors and the screens. Please make sure you have what you need to be able to connect your computer to the projector, whether that be a dongle or an HDMI cable. Bring those with you so that you can do your dongle dance before your session and make sure that all of your tech will work correctly. Pictures and videos. Take pictures and videos of your session as it's happening. So it's really nice to be able to look back at them and to see the participants and to kind of remember what was going on. And a video, it is really nice to be able to kind of review how you did, especially if this is one of your first times and you're thinking this is something you really want to get into and develop. That is an amazing resource. If you can't do pictures or videos yourself, you can always ask a friend to come do it. And if you need somebody else to do it because your friends are doing their own sessions, you can always ask a board member. We are usually more than happy to come and take pictures for you. You may ask if we can use them too, but we are very happy to help you with that. So a remote desktop is amazing. Again, this goes back to that comment I had about space and knowing your room. So you don't have to present from the front of the room if you have some sort of device that allows you to roam. So you could do a Chrome remote desktop, you can use screens. I just have a USB keyboard and mouse combination that I just carry with me, and I can push my buttons from wherever I am in the room. So it doesn't need to be an app. It could be just something like a USB keyboard. Links, oh, sorry. So shorten your links. You can use, you can use bit.ly or tiny URL. Make sure that you post all of your links in your resources and make sure that that is updated on that session spreadsheet. And again, that link in the spreadsheet needs to be a link to one thing, a website, a Google Doc, a folder, but all of your other links and resources need to be put in that one link. You can also use mirroring devices. So mirror your phone to your computer you can use Air Server or Reflector, or if this is something that you are familiar with, you probably have your own favorite app that you use. So these are just a few of the tech tips that we have here. Liz, do you have anything to add to that?
I would also say that maybe this doesn't happen as often. I teach at a high school, or I'm an assistant principal at a high school, so maybe this doesn't happen as often with adults. But I find that people don't tell you when they can't see, just like they don't tell you when they can't hear, because they don't necessarily want to draw attention to themselves. So anytime that you have the ability to zoom in or to make your font larger or any of that, try doing a couple of examples with somebody at the back of the room. Say, as people are filtering in at the beginning, shoot a slide up, say, is this, is it visible like this, kind of like the eye doctor, better 1 or 2, better 2 or 3, kind of like that, just to make sure that everybody can actually see these things. I think it'll be very helpful for you. And we just want all of our session participants to be really comfortable and to be able to see what's going on. So another way to address that, if you don't want to spend that time, is just to go ahead and say, I'm going to be, the font on this is kind of small, or some of this is kind of small. Let me know if you just raise your hand during this section if you want me to make something bigger or smaller, or cup your ear if you can't hear me. So give people a way to indicate if they can't see or can't hear.
Thank you.
And I'm done.
Okay. So I really wanted to include this quote because the essence of teaching is to make learning contagious and to have one idea spark another. That's from Marva Collins. And that's what you are doing when you come and present at InnEdCO and you share your love of what you're doing. It really makes it contagious and it really does ignite those sparks for other people. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for coming and presenting and sharing that because your presentations are going to have such impact on the people that are in your sessions. And I am so excited to see what that impact does in their classrooms and in their practices. So thank you for that. And really just needed to share that quote. And we're going to wrap it up now. And again, thank you so much for your participation in our conference and for bringing your inspiration and your excitement to share. If you have any questions, you can find Liz and I. Again, my name is Linda L. Horn at InnEdCO.org. And we have Liz, that's E. Walhoff at InnEdCO.org. And please feel free to email us or any of the board members if you have any questions about either presentations or about just participation in InnEdCO. So thank you. And Liz, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think, well, I say no and then I talk. I wanted to echo what you said. We're just so grateful that you're presenting and we're so excited to learn from you. And do you remember offhand the countdown now, Linda, how many days we are?
Oh,
It's under 10, I believe.
Yeah, it's less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're almost there.
And
Again, just let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to help, and we're just so grateful to you for sharing your expertise and time. We know the students in Colorado will be better off because of your efforts, so we appreciate that. All right.
We look forward to seeing you at Keystone.
Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
All right, my battery is about to die. May we switch to phone for just a minute?
Yep, let me actually stop broadcasting.